Alec, the heater. He just loves giving back shots. Thank you to our $5 patron, Sinus Lancelot, and a big thank you to our $25 patron, the Mr. Greed. Now, before we jump into this review of Chapter 81 of Dragon Ball Super, please do me a favor, leave your own thoughts on the chapter in the comment section down below, leave a like, and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, make sure you hit that little notification bell so you don't miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do have a Patreon down below where you can support me for as low as $1 a month. I'd appreciate any support you're willing to give. Now, let's get into it. What's up, guys? I got a pencil here, and yeah, here we are to review chapter. I don't know why I said what did I just say. Yeah. But here we are to review chapter 81 of Dragon Ball Super, which is known as Goku's Conflict, aka man, like I'm just kind of getting tired of it at this point. But let's get into it. So we open up and we get to see Alec. He's flying high in the sky. Gas is chilling out on the ground, getting used to existing as he do now, and Goku and Vegeta are looking on like Is he okay? Why is he just standing there? And then he glares at them. And I guess he can like, and I'm wondering if this is like an eye contact based spell or something. Like, it's weird, right? Because after he like flashes his eyes at them, they say that their body feels heavy and that it's hard to move, and that if they don't move, they'll be crushed by his sheer power. So gravity manipulation, sensory manipulation, I'm not really sure. Like, this was it was a weird thing. I mean, maybe this is a Gas unique ability. I don't remember anyone else in the series necessarily having like a technique like that. I know Babidi could like shift the environment to make it feel like it was heavier than it was supposed to be, like increasing gravity, but I've never seen someone like just make their bodies feel heavier. So Gas, new technique, that's pretty cool. I'm glad we're seeing new techniques and not just the old ones, as much as I do like the old ones. And then of course Alec from the heavens is like, well, do your job, end them. And like, Granola, I get it, man, you're new to fighting, but you were a sniper. If there's one thing you should know, it's to not give up your position. Like, and why did you teleport so far away from him? Why did you leave travel distance? You should have appeared beam mid-firing so it could be going through his skull by the time you appeared. But nope, Granola pops up and yells, Alec! To essentially warn him that he's going to kill him. And Alec naturally looks at him and is like, oh, yeah, I'm probably gonna die here. But of course, since Granola teleported with such a large distance between him and gave away his location, Gas just points at him. And well, not at him, ironically enough, he points at Alec and then teleports him somewhere else. So it's like, is that a new instant transmission? Is that like an evolution of the technique? Because notably, what Gas points with are the two fingers that you would traditionally use instant transmission for. Like, you typically have to put your fingers to your head, but Gas points at it and then makes Alec reappear in the second place he points. It almost seems like interesting. It almost seems like he stores Alec somewhere else and then puts him down somewhere else. Like, it's not an instantaneous movement like instant transmission. Like, he boop, Alec disappears, moves his hand, boop, and then Alec is somewhere else. I don't know. Interesting. Once again, we haven't seen that technique before, I don't think, so it's cool to see. And then, of course, Gas, well, no, Granola misses. See it. Double G's. I mess their names up all the time. But Gas misses. I said it again. Granola misses. But that's weird, right? Because, like, Gas was on the ground. Granola was high in the air, and so was Alec, right? Like, yeah. Alec was high in the air above Gas, so I'm wondering, maybe the mountain is level with, oh, no, I don't know, that's weird paneling. Like, Granola just ends up, like, horizontal to Alec, even though he reasonably should be way higher than him because of where he was, but who knows, maybe that's just a perspective thing. And of course, we get to see that if there's one thing I do love about this arc consistently that hasn't failed to entertain me chapter by chapter, it is Alec himself. Like, I love how his only response to literally almost being executed was, didn't anyone teach you not to throw punches at your employer? It's just bad manners. Of course. I mean, when you're untouchable, why bother do anything but quip? Like, I don't blame him. I think that's what I appreciate him the most for. He's the most consistently interesting and entertaining character that we've gotten so far. More interesting than Gas, more interesting than Granola. So far, he's been carrying. And of course, I love, once again, he just keeps up this great menace mentality where Gas, I keep saying Gas, where Granola has this, you killed my mother kind of moment. And of course, Alec is like, hold on, pause. You ain't saying anything sus, but like, let's get this straight. I decided to let you live. Don't worry. You are next on the census. You are next to be taken off the census if need be. And I love that. It's just like, it's the air of control and confidence. Something that you did. I haven't really gotten this since like Frieza. Like that. I haven't really gotten this like sense of proper control and understanding that's yet tinged with malice since Frieza. Like, notably, every single villain after that wasn't necessarily ruling over an empire or anything like that. Like, they didn't have anything crazy that they wanted to achieve in a business kind of sense. So this, like, weird, straight-laced, villainous mentality, it's just interesting to see, because I haven't seen it in so long. Even when Frieza came back in Resurrection F and in Broly, like, I still didn't really get that, like, early, well-composed, well-spoken kind of villain. So I'm glad we get that through Alec. But of course, Granola, once again, like, maybe, because the thing is, whenever I'm reading things, I think too optimally. I think that's something that, I watched a video that, like, talked about, like, why people aren't optimal in fiction, and, like, I know I nitpick a lot, so, like, I'm trying to hold back on that, but looking at this, like, Granola, I get you're trying to emphasize a point, the fact that if it wasn't for Alec, so many people on this planet would still be alive, but looking at it, why would you blatantly charge your beam and point it at Alec when he's decently far away? Like, wouldn't you just instant transmission over to him and then shoot him in the head? I don't know. Like, that, like, what did you really expect? Because, of course, when Alec sees Granola striking a pose and charging his beam at him, he's like, whoa, hold on, homeboy. You need to relax. You got quite a mouth on you for someone who could have died at any time. And by could have, I mean can, because your life is still on the line. And like, it is such a cool image to see Gas, like, as much as I've been indifferent to Gas's character, to see Gas just come through and, like, just shatter both of Granola's forearms. Like, he literally just up kicks. Honestly, the only thing that could have made this hypothetically better is if Gas had, like, scissor kicked. I'm not sure if is that the proper term? I'm not a martial artist, unfortunately, so I'm not sure. But like, if he brings the one leg up, he brings his right leg up to shatter Granola's forearms. But can you imagine if he shattered his biceps too, but like kicking down with the other leg, so he essentially like clap down with both his legs and shatter Granola's arms? That would be metal. But of course, this is already metal, and Granola, in a panel that makes him, ironically enough, look like future Trunks, screams in agony. But of course, Gas doesn't really care. This is kind of his job, so he just, like, double pews Granola specifically in the eyes. And like, I don't know. I'm kind of torn on what Gas does here, because reasonably, if you had the power and capability to shoot him dead in the eyes, you should have just shot his brain out, right? Like, you have no reason to keep him alive. You yourself don't like him. Might as well just kill him. It's not like it's not like Alec is protecting him anymore. It's not like you need to keep him alive. He's obviously shown treasonous nature. He's trying to kill your boss. I don't think Alec would get too mad at you if you just went and just got rid of him. But I get why, taking out the eyes. Obviously, those are the Cerulean's main traits, and Granola's main traits in this case, so you definitely want him up out of here. So yeah, and Granola falls back into Alec, and I love how Alec, to the very end, is a businessman. He's like, hey, you know what? I gotta thank you for all those jobs you did for us. If nothing else, you're gonna die the same way your mom did. See ya, Granola, and then literal back shot, like just straight through. And I'm not sure where he shot him. I'm not sure how Granola's anatomy lines up to your regular humanoid, but that's probably the liver. Yeah, Granola's done some. But shoutouts to the strength of that blaster. Like, I know Granola's key guard probably isn't up to the ultimate extreme, but still, like, that's a pretty strong blaster. He even seems to have some liquid in it. I'm not sure if that's liquid or something else. But, or something else, you know what I'm saying? You know, he getting Granola back shots, you know, putting in Granola. Okay, I'm gonna stop. But in terms of seeing Granola get shot, it is a really cool panel. Like, that's the reason it's a thumbnail, obviously. But it's a really cool, like, Toyotaro removes all the background, just focuses on the blam sound effect. You just get this clear shot of like just standing there shooting through Granola. It's a really cool shot. And of course, Manaito witnessing the other Cerulean who he saved and trusted die. Yeah, he's not actually about that action. So of course, we see that Granola's body plunks into the water, and admittedly, I'll give Alec this, he's kind of kind. He cares for his brother, or nephew, I think he's brother. I think he's brother. His younger brother, he's like, hey, well, it was a long time coming. You good with that? I'm sorry I finished them off. Everything alright? And I think that's cool, right? Because, well, I do believe that Alec is definitely hiding something about this new succession to the mightiest. Considering Torumbo did go out of his way to mention it to Granola, I wouldn't be shocked that the indifferent dragon wouldn't go out of its way and mention it to Alec. I'm going to heavily assume, since Granola didn't have to give up his power in order for Gas to become the strongest, I'm guessing Gas has the shorter lifespan, but, of course, it doesn't really matter to Alec. So Alec is essentially like, he's caring for his brother emotionally, even if he's pretty confident that his brother's going to die soon. At least I'm confident Gaz is going to have to die in a couple of years, because there's no way he got a free power-up. Unless Toyotaro and Toriyama just forgot about that part of the arc. I wouldn't be shocked. But we see that Goku wants to do something. He wants to hop in and help out and assist Granola, but yeah, he can't do it because his body doesn't move. And then we get like, here's my thing, right? As a Vegeta fan, I'm not gonna go into I like more, because I mainly because those thoughts vary every day. Like, you ask me one day, I like Goku more. You ask me one day, I like Vegeta more. But like, this whole story, like, the only thing that gives Goku more credence over Vegeta in this case is, one, he's the main character, but two, in terms of this current narrative, this current arc we're in, the main thing that gives Goku credence over Vegeta is the fact that Bardock is the one that fought Gas. And Gas is obviously going to be more interested in the person who looks just like Bardock than Vegeta, right? I get that. But why do this, right? Like, from a narrative writing perspective, if you're Toriyama, because Toriyama is the one who writes the notes for Toyotaro. This is still a Toriyama story illustrated by Toyotaro and told fully by Toyotaro. So I'm confident somewhere in the notes it says Vegeta gives his energy to Goku. Like, this is a very pivotal thing. Like, the rest of the chapter and probably the arc succeeding from this point onward cannot succeed or go onward if this was not in the notes. So from Toriyama's perspective, I get it. Goku's the main character, but it isn't like Toriyama isn't afraid to give the wind to other people before. Like, well, to be fair, he's only done it once. No, twice, technically. He gave the win to Piccolo. It was a Piccolo and Goku fight, but to beat Raditz, hate to say it, that wasn't Goku. That was Goku holding back Raditz for Piccolo to kill him. And obviously you have Cell. So I don't get why, especially after you, once again, this is like a repeat of the past 2 arcs we've had already. We had, all the way back on the Tournament of Power, we had Vegeta give up his energy to Goku so Goku could go fight the good fight. And that happened, and Vegeta was removed from the narrative. We had, and hold on, it's like a double stack pattern, right? Vegeta gets a new power-up, fights a little bit, runs out of energy, gives his energy to Goku, and that happens in the Tournament of Power. It happens in the Moral arc, and it's happening now. In the Tournament of Power, the power-up he got was Super Saiyan Blue Evolution. That proceeded to get given to Goku and throw it away, because it wasn't enough, and bada bing, bada boom, he has to give his energy to Goku. In the Moral arc, he got Force Spirit Fission, a new technique, it empowered his forms, and gave him a new power-up. Great. Now, on top of that, doesn't matter anymore, because he had to give, in the end, he failed, he had to give his power to Goku, and Goku had to do it all over again. Now, once again, Vegeta got Hakai, he got a new fusion, he got a new transformation, did all that, failed, and now is giving his energy to Goku. Like, what? Maybe Toriyama just doesn't, he likely doesn't care, right? The man has money, for his money's money, on money, and I doubt his great thrice removed grandson will ever have to worry about any money problems because of how much money Dragon Ball makes him. But, I don't know, doesn't it get boring telling the same story all the time? Or at least repeating these plot points? Like I said, 3 arcs in a row at this point. The only reason I'm not counting the Goku Black arc is because no one won in that one. Like, it wasn't Vegeta or Goku who won that. And once again, like, it goes really all the way back into the Frieza arc or Resurrection F. Why not just give Vegeta a win? Like, you've won. I get it. Goku's our main character, but to have Vegeta constantly give up his energy, why couldn't Goku give his energy to Vegeta? I get it. it's Goku, but I don't know. I'm kind of just getting. This is boring now. It's boring because like it's so clear to see, and it's been done 3 times in a row now. Like it's lost its luster. If it had any luster to begin with, because to be fair, I didn't like it all the way back on the Tournament of Power when it was so blatant. And obviously, I wasn't a fan of it in Resurrection F. So I don't see. There's no point in my mind to introduce an equal to Goku if that equal to Goku is never going to be used as an equal to Goku, because Vegeta's always been either the guy for the second fiddle to fight or the guy to warm up the final villain for Goku and or fusion fodder. And it's not like what Vegeta doesn't do in between those times isn't cool. I guess it's all right, but it's a character that's there that is built to make other people want him to succeed. And then Toriyama just repeatedly goes out of his way so Vegeta can't succeed. It's just, I'm just confused. Like if I had to be real, I don't get it. Like what would be wrong with letting Vegeta have a win? And that's the thing. Like if I could ask Toriyama one question, it's like why? What's wrong with that? If you're going out of your way to give Vegeta these new transformations, if you're going out of your way to give Vegeta these new techniques, give Vegeta these character-related conflicts, give Vegeta all this stuff, why not just slide him one? And who knows? Like I said, this whole rant could be completely wrong, and it could end up tying back to Vegeta in the very end. Who knows? I have a whole idea of where the arc could go after the end of this chapter that I'll get into in a little bit. But for right now, I'll admit, especially my first reading of the chapter. By the way, you know the like button is free. I appreciate that. But also, I already did a slight recording. I did like a more live reaction kind of thing for the chapter when it first dropped. I think that's what I'm going to do. Only the patrons are going to get that, though. They're going to get the raw audio for that. So, more incentive to become a patron if you want. But yeah, in the first one, I went way more off on it. But now, after like calming down, reassessing, like I get it. This is just what Toriyama does. But this isn't, as a writer, so I'm not like a professional writer, but as a writer and as a person who has read and critiqued other narratives, I don't see why you do this. It just doesn't make sense, especially for a long-running franchise. Like this has to get boring to write, not even to read, not even to consume. However, of course, Vegeta gives up the last of his energy and tells Goku to use it wisely. And of course, we see that when Goku asks, "Hey, you sure we're repeating another plot point for the 3rd time back to back to back? Are you sure you really want to do this?" But he's like, "Yeah, you can still fight. Go do something about that scumbag." And Goku does. So we see that Goku he does, and notably, we see that. Yeah, he is brothers. I don't know why I keep forgetting. Like, for some reason, because of how tiny Gas was, I always assumed that he wasn't actually, like, he wasn't actually a sibling. He was more like a son or a nephew. But yeah, Alec is just the older brother of Gas. But we see that Alec, Gas he admits to Alec that he had an internal conflict about becoming the strongest. He felt wrong. But then he says he's glad that Alec made that wish. And Alec I'm not sure. Maybe it's not the case. Maybe he sacrificed something else. But Alec specifically deflects off of that and just says, "Hey, forget about that. It's not important. Your job doesn't end here. Go kill Goku. Or we'll go kill these Saiyans and stuff like that." And notably, see, this is another thing that leads me into questioning the writing and the characters themselves, because notably Alec, someone that Gas has been revealed to be eternally loyal to at this point, never questioning his older brother, tells him explicitly. Let me even what would Alec sound like? I'm not even sure. "Besides, your job doesn't end here. We can't afford to waste any more time, so just kill them already." And Gas's simple response is, "Very well." And of course, he sees Goku, who has now achieved Super Saiyan Blue once again. Notably not Master Super Saiyan Blue. He still does have the aura flowing about him. So, Goku lunges in, and Gas blocks, but notably, his clothes don't even get scuffed. He just takes the hit, and it's perfectly fine. And then Goku uses instant transmission to appear on the ground. And we see, and Gas is actually kind of impressed that Goku broke free of the spell. He says, he even compliments Goku. But, like, in this moment, why are you not doing what your brother just told you to do? Kill him. He's barely able to evade you as it is. Just execute him. But of course, maybe not. Maybe just yet. He's talking up a little bit. He's not going on. But Goku does something that is admittedly interesting. He's like, "Hey, hold on. I don't really want to fight you. So, want to just go our separate ways? Like, we can just chill." And we see that Goku was apparently calm and collected. But another weird thing, right? Are the Saiyans and Granola friends? Is this a thing? Because, like, no offense, Gas, but you've known Granola longer than they've known Granola. They met Granola in Dragon Ball time? Probably an hour ago. I don't think they're friends, guys. I don't know. Those like Torio Taro in his writing, because notably Toriyama writes, but I believe I think it's still the notes format. I don't think Torio Taro is just the artist and Toriyama like pens everything. I'm pretty sure Toyo Taro does have big influence on the dialogue, but like there are always times when Toyo Taro will say things that just like stand out as weird. Like back in the Moral arc, it was the whole Vegeta never underestimates his opponents, and then like you have a concurrent flashback to all the times Vegeta has underestimated his opponents and let them grow stronger. And just in this case right here, you don't feel rage over the death of your friend? Well, no, Gas. He just met them. The Saiyans just met the dude that just tried to kill them today. So he probably wouldn't even be that emotional even if he was mad. But of course Goku is mad, but he's like, being angry over something that I have no reason to be angry for actually messes with my special move, so I won't do it. And now that I think about it, it is kind of weird. I mean, but they know Hakai, and that's a godly technique. So, like, it has appeared, well, an evolved version of Hakai. But, like, if they have those techniques on the table, I feel like they should at least maybe subconsciously have an understanding of Ultra Instinct. Like, the fact that their strongest wish ignores that technique, maybe because it's not like an offensive move or a defensive move. It's just like a lifestyle, weirdly enough. So I guess maybe that's why they don't have it. But according to Alec, hey, hate to say it, buddy, but begging for your life won't save you. You know our plan. You gotta die. And of course, Gas is like, well, you're the man. We just execute you. And of course, Goku's not going to easily be executed. But, like, Gas, strongest in the universe. I guess he wants to play with his toys, right? I guess Alec doesn't care. But Alec specifically said, we can't waste any more time. We need to get stuff done. So the fact that Gas is sort of just playing with Goku here is kind of weird. And of course, he's like literally putting Goku through a Mario level where he has to deal with all these energy constructs Gas is making, throwing walls together, spikes up, down, all around, all that good stuff. You know, the like button is free. But Goku's just dodging all of them. He has like some form of Ultra Instinct activated plus his regular self, so he's doing pretty good. He's throwing walls around, shattering them, doing all that good stuff. And yeah, and then we get to see Gas is like, you know what, maybe my own constructs aren't enough. Let me use some actual constructs that are physical matter. And of course he throws up some buildings, telekinesis. I mean, it's like Torio Taro, it's not bad action, but it's not like, is it weird? Maybe it's because I don't get it. I don't get why Gas is doing it. Or, well, he says why, but I don't get why Gas is doing it. That makes me feel uninvested in the action. Like, none of this feels perilous, right? And it feels like a video game level. Like, it just seems like Goku's hardcore parkouring everywhere, and while that's cool, it's not the most interesting to me for some reason. But then Goku, of course, gets hit by a train. You know, as you do, on some Far From Home Mysterio type beat. He gets hit directly by a train, and he gets sent flying. And I love how the train is just like literally just in midair, just zooming along. And of course, I guess Gas's telekinesis has evolved with him being the strongest in the universe, because we see that Maki is like, ooh, amazing. He can do super large things now. That's cool. So implying that he couldn't do it before, which I guess was... Well, no, I don't even think we saw him use telekinesis before he transformed. But then again, that was a while ago, so I'm not sure. But of course, we see that Gas thanks Goku for humoring him, for allowing him to test his power. But like, bro, you've been told to kill him twice, and you told to not waste time. Why are you stalling with this weak version of Goku? I don't really get it. But I guess, well, I get it. I get the internal character motivation why, right? Gas wants to test his new strength, and on top of that, Goku is the son of Bardock, and thusly, this would be like cathartic for Gas to abuse the son of Bardock. But like, you could just break his arms, break all his bone, like Batman him. Like, if need be, if you really want to torture the dude, like, dancing around him isn't gonna do much. Just test your strength by seeing how much you can do by putting all your force into his bones and watch them shatter. I don't really see why you're wasting your time. And notably, he does go in for a hard punch, but he's obviously suppressing himself to the point that Goku can just keep pushing through it. But of course, after Gas like avoids Goku's swing and grabs him by the neck, he's like, not gonna lie to you, you don't even really have a hint of fire in your eyes. Like, are you alive? Are you involved in this? Like, are we here now? Is this a thing or not? Like, what you doing? And of course, Goku, he like flips Gas, but Gas likely allowed it, because the moment he's done flipping and Goku lunges in for a ki blast, he gets hit by another train. But we see that in terms of combat, his father, Bardock, was essentially carried by like his fierce resolve for battle, his Saiyan instinct, if you will. But he doesn't really sense any of that from Goku. Like, that need to win, that drive, it's not there. Which is, I mean, it's strange, right? Because notably, what Goku blames this on, like when Gas questions, "Are you truly Bardock's son? Do you know that for a fact? Are you sure that that's your father? Are you sure you're not? Did Guinea cheat? You sure someone else wasn't giving her back shots like Elect gave Granola back shots? Like, what are we doing here?" And Goku claims that he hit his head when he was little and lost all his memories up to that point. So he doesn't remember a thing about his dad or the Saiyans. But Goku, your entire nature is because you're a Saiyan. Outside the kindness, which came from the bumping your head because you lost some feral tendencies, your whole drive to fight, as much as you have it, is because you're a Saiyan. That's not something you're going to lose. That's not something you have lost. So I'm kind of shocked he's blaming his lack of battle spirit on that, because that's an event that is entirely irrelevant to you as a mere 50-year-old? Or he should be past 50, right? I think he should be older than 50 at this point. But yeah, like, Goku, come on now. And that's, once again, the weird writing stuff. Like, I'm not exactly sure that would be relevant to Goku in terms of at least how he fights and stuff like that. Like, he loves fighting because he's a Saiyan, so I'm not sure why the head bump would stop him from that. But of course, we see, according to Gas, he could never fall to someone who doesn't know who they are. And notably, speaking of falling, Goku does get trained straight into the ocean or straight into the water below, and he's suffocating because of the telekinetic grip that Gas has on his throat. You know, can't get the gawk if you're getting gawked out of life. But we see that apparently, well, the heaters can breathe in space, which is cool, or at least they can breathe without oxygen. And we see that Goku is trying to fight for his life, but when you're drowning underwater, it's not the easiest thing to do. Because once Goku reaches his hand out and fires off a ki blast, Gas simply catches it and then throws it back at Goku, and then proceeds to blow up the entire lake. So, yeah, Gas is really just styling on Goku right now. And look, you can even see Alec's kind of annoyed. Like, he's looking on with like a frowny face because Granola's wasting. Well, no, I keep saying Granola. No, Gas is wasting time, and I don't get why you do that when you know you have an objective to fulfill. But of course, Maki and Oil are a little upset they were in the splash zone. But then Goku, after rising up, after taking his own attack, is like, "Geez, how can I even beat this dude? Like, he's literally just toying with me right now." But notably, Gas isn't paying attention to him because he notices that Monaito is healing I'm an idiot. Monaito is healing Granola. And of course, Goku's excited that Granola's still alive, but obviously, like, Gas isn't. So he's going to lunge in, kill Monaito, and then kill Granola at the same time. You know, a 2-for-1 combo. Maybe if he got Goku and Vegeta in there, it'd be a 4-for-4. But we see that, and once again, this is weird. Gas, why are you flying over there? Why don't you just, I don't know, do the thing you can do, which is teleport and then instantly kill them both? And like, and Gas, how do you get held there long enough? Like, Goku notably rushes in. Like, both of you, why are you flying? Maybe, I don't know, that's weird. Like, if I could teleport, I would never rely on my travel speed. Well, unless I was purposely able, like, say I could fly and teleport, I would probably just be warping everywhere. Just like space-time would be broken because of me, because I'm just constantly moving left and right. So to see these two beings who are very capable and confident in their ability to teleport just not do it and fly towards each other and not instantly teleport out of the situation, like Gas does not instantly teleport off of Goku, I don't know, it was kind of weird. And of course, Goku and Gas vanish once Goku gets his hands on them, and we get to see Jocko helping out an old man. And I feel like I've seen a design. I think I've seen the design on Moscow X's channel. I wonder if that's a thing. I don't know, but Jocko, he's just out and about doing grocery shopping and trying to help out, being, you know, your local patrolman. And Goku and Gas run in and just, well, slide against the ground, or at least notably Goku slides against the ground because he can't recover in time, but Gas just casually flips into it and he's good. And then we get to see that after Goku rises up, he notices Jocko notices him, and he's like, "Whoa, thanks, Jocko. I'm glad you're on a nearby planet, or else I would have been dead." And of course, Gas is like, there are people here, living people. Where the heck are we? And I love how Goku's only answer is, "Alright, I'm gonna level with you real quick, my boy. I don't even know that, but we can throw hands still." And that's what the two do, right? They begin instantly teleporting everywhere, and essentially what Gas's new goal is to prove superiority to Goku, even in something that he has had years to train with, like instant transmission. And essentially, after Goku blocks one final hit, Goku vanishes, and then Gas also vanishes after Goku disappears, and Jocko's like, you know what? I'm gonna pretend like I didn't see anything. And then he promptly leaves the planet to suffer and burn with all the chaos caused by both of them. However, they want to be like that sometimes. So that's the end of the chapter. How do I feel about the chapter as a whole? It was kind of mid. It was pretty mid to me. I don't know. Something like the repeated story beats, the bland action. I mean, the thing is, the action isn't drawn poorly. It's just that it's not. It feels like it has no tension behind it anymore. I feel like it is weird, right? I feel like the story's been bloated. Like it feels like this is a narrative that's gone on for longer than it should have, even like to a comparable degree, like the moral arc. Like it feels like, based on what we know about all the characters involved in this scenario, the story shouldn't still be happening, and I feel like that sucks a lot of the drama and narrative out of the fights that we've had so far. And considering we're seeing another instant transmission fest, which we already got to see when Gas versus Granola, it's not very interesting to me. Vegeta giving up his power once again to Goku isn't very interesting to me. Monoito healing people is not very interesting to me. I mean, the only cool thing that I consistently liked about this chapter is Elec, because Elec seems to be about the business. But even Gas, this dude who never seemed to show off his battle lust kind of side, doesn't make sense that in one panel he's willing to break both of Granola's arms just to torture him and shoot his eyes out, and then in the next time he's fighting against Goku and sparing him so much and just playing trains with him. It's just not my thing, I guess. Where do I think the chapter in the series is going to go? Weirdly enough, I feel like, wasn't this arc was announced that was supposed to be ending soon, so I'm not sure how they're going to end it soon. But I'd be cool with Broly making his like debut here, maybe by teleporting to Vampa, or maybe we just do leaps across the series. Maybe, it'd be cool if we teleport to Frieza. Frieza would be a very cool person to teleport to, because that's essentially Gas's main goal, right? Like that's the Elect's main goal, to teleport to Frieza, or at least get to Frieza and then take over his empire. So that'd be cool to see. We get Frieza versus Gas, maybe get Broly versus Gas, Beerus versus Gas, like all these different people. I think it'd be pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know. Other than that, chapter's kind of mid. Those are my thoughts. If you want to hear like my raw, unrestricted live action thoughts, hey, as low as $1 a month on Patreon, I'd appreciate it. You get full access to that. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And tell me your own thoughts in the comment section down below. Also, hit that little notification bell so you don't miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, like I mentioned, Patreon down below. Those are $1 a month. I'd appreciate any support you're willing to give. Thank you so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That Guy with the Pencil, writing off.